Much. Mikel, you had your chances at the end there, but it turned out that the story was the mistake, the self-destruct button in the first half.
Yes, obviously it's a really tough place to come in a difficult pitch, but overall I have to say that if you don't score the big chances that we had, if you give a goal to the opponent, and if you don't get the decision when it's a clear penalty in the Premier League, to be fair, it's pretty complicated.
You need to eradicate from the game?
No, it's something that we work on and we're going to keep doing. The first goal that we scored is through Bern. Bern starts the whole thing, and we scored a goal with Aubameyang, and then we made a mistake that cost us a goal. But as well, Bern, the only chance that they had, it was a long kick from Bern. We are in open structure, and they have the chance they only had in the game. So it can happen when you play short or long. This is football. But obviously, when you miss the chances that we missed today in this ground, obviously you're going to have moments when they put you under pressure, and the game becomes exactly what they want. And then you don't get the decision when it's an obvious penalty, because someone has to explain me then what a penalty is.
I mean, you were in command in the first half, but again, the mistakes. I mean, this is the problem, isn't it? You're just undermining yourself.
Yeah,
you could look back on the season of regrets and mistakes.
Still with that, you have to come here and win the game. With what you produce in the game, you have to come and win it. Simple as that. And if you don't, then you have to look at ourselves and don't find any other excuses. We completely dominated the first half. We felt comfortable. We should have been 2-3-0 up. In the second half, you're going to have periods. The way they play, they make it really difficult. It was a difficult pitch. A lot of long balls, a lot of aerial duels. It was much better. We generate chances that we should have won the game.
You've been talking this week about the Arsenal side that you want this to be, and that you're not there yet. You're far from that. Has this story, this match changed?
Yeah, you have to come here and win. Fight 2 or 3 goals when you produce a performance like that, because if you give any hope to any team in the Premier League, they're going to take it. And that's the difference when you have consistency in results. On one day you win, the other one you draw, the other one you lose.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Oh, astonishing is the word. Look, thanks for joining us for this Saturday lunchtime kickoff. It was a brilliant game of football, obviously less brilliant from an Arsenal perspective. Let's get straight into the analysis, and let's start with Pepe. I mean, he had 30 minutes on the pitch, and it was a rather dramatic 30 minutes.
He had an impact. I mean, this is for me the role he plays now for Arsenal. He comes on and he makes things happen. He had the glaring. This is a penalty for me, Jake. I mean, I don't think anyone at home would disagree. It's bounced up. When you see it in the replay, it's quite staggering how VAR have not picked up on this. But he made something. He come on the pitch and he had a go and he probed. Willian was not one of his best days, and this guy made a difference. For me, it's a clear penalty. Arteta will be furious with that. I mean, this is the bad side of him. This is on his good foot. Just get your foot on it, stroke it home. And then this...
It's a perfect ball for him, isn't it?
Perfect. We were talking in the first half, Martin. That's a perfect ball. It's on the floor. This is an unbelievable bit of technique, and the defending. I'll let Martin tell you about this because he was loving it.
Well, again, Arsenal hit the bar, but okay, it hits the shoulder. But if we take it back to the original handball, I cannot understand how the VAR have looked at that and then decided,
which they did do.
Yes, and decided it wasn't a penalty. That, of course, only the right decision's been made there. Great defending.
Let me explain what they've said to us then. We know that now with the new law about the T-shirt that should have been chalked off, and that's VAR perfect. Difficult for the referee. Game's moving fast. VAR clears it up. The problem with the first one is consistency. So it's only a little while ago that we saw a penalty being conceded by Ryan Bertrand for Southampton against Wolves. The ball was whacked at him from a few yards. Today, the Premier League have been in touch with us to say this was a question of proximity. So on that day, proximity didn't matter. Today it does.
Well, exactly. That's exactly that, Jake. It doesn't matter until today, does it? And I know the rules are going to be changed, but for me, that's definitely a handball. We wondered if it was initially handball, but this is very definitely out comes the arm. And how is that? How have VAR looked at that? There's somebody in the VAR hub has looked at that and said, no, it's beyond me.
Kevin Friend looked at it.
Well, the proximity argument, right? Okay, so we had the Ryan Bertram incident a few weeks ago, and it's a bit further back. So where's the cut-off point? When does it become not a penalty because you're too close and you can't get your hands out of the way? And when does it become And it's a real
down to interpretation.
But that's the key thing. People will use this to criticise VAR. All VAR is doing is the job it's there to do: give more information to the officials. Today, Kevin Friend looked at it and thought, no. Another day, Martin Atkinson looks at Ryan Bertrand and thinks, yes. Well, so it is. It's about human beings.
Yeah, but decisions. VAR is there, isn't it? If there's a clear and obvious mistake, if the referee gives that initially, they're not going to overrule it, and they haven't deemed that it's enough to change the referee's mind. I disagree strongly.
OK, wonder what Sean Dyche makes of that and the rest of the game. Let's get his reaction. He's talking to Des.
Sean, congratulations. We've got plenty to talk about. Where do you want to start?
Well, overall, another good point against a good Arsenal side, but I thought we were, we attempted to affect the game by pressing all match. I was super pleased with the ability of our players because we're relying on the same group, and I thought they were outstanding the way they kept going after Arsenal for the whole of the 90 whatever minutes that was played.
Substitute had an incident-packed few minutes, didn't he? Eric Peters, fantastic clearance, red card and VAR decisions.
Yeah, look, I'm a fan of VAR. Everyone knows that. I know it's got to be streamlined. We know that, and there's some moments when it doesn't nick up, but that's when it's worth its weight in gold, because it clearly hits him on the shoulder. The thing I would say about the referees, it's a funny one today. He couldn't wait to get the red card, and I don't know why that is. You just give yourself a second, absorb it, then you make a decision, in my opinion. A fine referee, in my opinion, too. But that moment, look, it's an important moment. That's what VAR's for. It's for them exact moments, or that's part of it, for sure.
You made a worst possible start in many ways, giving Arsenal advantage. Defending was a little bit sloppy, maybe the goalkeeper as well.
Soft start, I thought, but I said to him at half time, there's not a lot in it. As regards our performance, it's probably 1% more from every player, just a bit more purpose to the play, both defending and attacking. But there was plenty of that second half, that's for sure, because our defending was outstanding, blocking and when we had to, especially at the end. And we created probably the golden chance of the game with good play from Teixeira and Woody to get in behind them, and the keeper makes a good save.
They gave you a gift as an equaliser, and from that point you seem to have lifted everybody, didn't it?
Well, yeah, because it wouldn't have been about our pressing. Of course, it would have been a gift, wouldn't it? Not about our pressing that we went after the whole game. Of course, the fact that we pressed them for more or less the whole game, or we certainly tried to. Then sometimes you get your rewards, and I thought we did. We set out to do that. We wanted to do that. We did it down their place very well and effectively, and I thought we did it for a large part of the game. Today, it's not easy. These sides contain some very good technical players. They play out tight situations well. They shift the ball quickly, so it's not easy. Trust me to do that. But the mentality was firm today. That's for sure.
And that's a big point, isn't it? It's this stage of the season, like climbing a mountain, one foot in front of the other, and you seem to be getting further and further away, just grinding it out.
Well, it's been a tough spell for us. We hope this spell now gives us a chance to get people fit. Obviously, Charlie Taylor, we lost him again today. Hopefully, that's not too serious. It's been a tough run of games, a tough the schedule for sure, and especially when we ran out of players at times. So I've been pleased. Like I say, I must commend the players again today, because the amount they've put into that performance to make sure we get something for the game, that's as important as anything over a season. You still need quality, of course, and organisation, all them things, but the mentality of a team is very, very important, and ours have got a very strong mentality, without a doubt.
Thanks, Sean. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, as we said, the points are mentality that is getting them the points. And in their last two games, 12 shots on target against the opposition, against decent opposition as well. Things are turning around, moving in the right direction.
We spent a lot of time talking about Arsenal, but let's not detract from the way that Burnley set their stall out here today. 2 tough games, wasn't it, in a week? Arsenal sitting watching them in midweek. Thought they played exceptionally well in that game, demonstrated that they can pass the ball. They seemed to go up a gear in the second half. Pressed. I know they got the goal from pressing, didn't they, in the first half, but the level of chances went up, the work rate, and they make it difficult. This is a really good effort. This is Peters, who was involved in everything when he came on. It showed a really good attitude when he came on, good save from the keeper. And any bits and pieces, that's what they'll play off. It's to hit long balls, they get it nice and wide. And this is, looking at the Arsenal central defenders here, the ball goes up. This is lazy defending. And then David Luiz dives in, completely leaves his defence exposed. That space they run into, I just don't understand it. They're not together. David Luiz is walking at this point, and then really they should have put that away. Great save from Leno to rescue the situation from an Arsenal point of view. Gets a foot out there, should be a goal. That
it should be. I mean, we could pick the bones out of the Arsenal performance, but for Burnley, we have to give that man there and his players massive credit. Like I said just earlier, we had a great vantage point to see them pressing. Sometimes we see teams pressing and it's a bit bitty, and the players are not really buying into it. Every one of Dyche's players buys into their press. Then when they get into these final third, players like Wood, Westwood, Brownhill, they've all got quality. Vidra was good today, buzzed about. Rodriguez, come on. Everyone was making an impact. And that's why I have no doubt. If I'm a Burnley supporter sitting home watching this, I'm sitting there with my cigar out thinking my team is not going down this year because of the experience and the quality. I think it's very important we give them a little bit of credit for their quality as well, because pundits, we often talk about all the other stuff, but they've got some very, very good players.
Joe, when they started the season, they were 8 games in before they actually won a game of football.
Yeah.
And it was looking like, Sean Dyche it's not gonna work. And he got these 2 central defenders back into position, Tarkowski, that base of the team, and they built from there. 5 draws now on the bounce at home to keep picking up points. They're 7 points away from trouble now, and they've done their job against it's been an Arsenal team in good form, and Arsenal will feel on another day they should have won this match with the number of chances they had. Yeah,
and like after 8 games, one thing I'll say, you wouldn't have known Dyche was under pressure, would you? Sometimes as a manager, when you're standing out there, he was like, calm lads. Even at half time today, what he said, 1 minute, just 1% more from every player, and we'll be fine, lads. He's just got a calmness to him that this club is very lucky to have him.